This was like rewarding the captain of the Titanic for getting everyone off the sinking ship after he rammed it into the iceberg.
Time magazine named him Person of the Year for 2009 for rescuing Wall Street and large financial institutions from financial ruin with loans that many say saved the U.S. economy from disaster. But at this Senate hearing to vote him a second term, several senators were highly critical of Ben Bernanke, saying he failed to anticipate the historic economic downturn and has done very little to institute monetary policies that will put people back to work and restore steady economic growth.
I will be opposing a second term for Dr. Bernanke as chairman of the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve.
From monetary policy to regulation, consumer protection, transparency, and independence, Chairman Bernanke's time as Fed chair has been a failure.
Some senators said Bernanke has done a good job of fighting inflation and opening up somewhat secret deliberations of the Fed and how it takes decisions. When it came time to vote, the committee voted 16-7 to send Bernanke's nomination with approval to the Senate floor for final approval, meaning he'll continue at the helm of the U.S. Central Bank, which is behind me. At the same time, former Fed Chief Alan Greenspan was testifying on Capitol Hill and warning that the current policy of the Fed presents dangers to the economy. Noting that the huge amount of money pumped into the U.S. economy as economic stimulus could turn into runaway inflation, Greenspan also warned Obama's record spending is sending the U.S. deficit and debt to unsustainable levels.
Our borrowing cushion shrinks significantly, threatening to test our capacity to raise funds to finance unprecedented deficits. The dire consequences of a failure to tighten sufficiently to balance our books, however, calls for policies that err significantly on the side of restraint.
The U.S. House of Representatives last week approved financial reform legislation which will create a congressional watchdog agency to audit the central bank's activities. The first time in modern history the Federal Reserve, set up to be independent from influence by the President or Congress, will be monitored closely on its monetary policies. Greenspan criticized the move, saying it will open the Fed's decisions to political influence and erode the Federal Reserve Bank's independence. Mike Kellerman, Press TV.